Hey y'all, this is Victor Haskins with another one of Vic's Tips, and in this episode I want to discuss transcription. So I think there's a big misconception concerning the transcription process and the whole point of it. What I hear happening a lot is that people will transcribe a solo and then take several of the phrases from the solo that they really like and then transpose those phrases through 12 keys, and then when they play their own improvised solo they just plug those phrases into the appropriate places over top of the chord changes, which doesn't really make sense because that's the equivalent of me going to, say, Paris and then getting one of those English to French phrase books and then using that to get around everywhere and saying that I now speak French because I can tell you, I can ask you where's the bathroom or how much does this cost. Sure, people will understand what I'm saying from the standpoint of having the right words, but it's not going to make complete sense because it's certainly not going to make me sound like a native speaker because I don't know how to pronounce the words. I don't know the inflections that need to be placed on the words and the different letters and how they're pronounced. All of this stuff is really important, as well as the colloquialisms. You know, these are really formal phrases that are going to be in a phrase book. You're not going to have slang or things that make speaking the language more natural. The conventions of language, because that's what we're doing when we're transcribing. We're understanding the conventions of language, how to speak this improvised music language. And so if all you're doing when you're transcribing a solo is taking someone's licks and then taking them for yourself, you're missing the whole point of what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be understanding how these phrases work, and not just the surface of, okay, you're playing these notes over this harmonic structure. You're trying to understand, okay, what kind of rhythms are they using, why are they using those rhythms, how are they expressing those rhythms, and what kind of inflections they're placing on these different notes in this phrase, as well as what is everyone else in the band doing in this musical situation, what's the context of what this phrase is played in. And that's what you have to understand in order to understand the rules, so to speak, the conventions of this language. So that way, you're not just taking someone's phrase and plugging it into your solo, because that's all your solos are going to sound like if that's what you do, is a bunch of licks stitched together, and it's going to make no sense in the end. Sure, it'll be the right notes over whatever chord changes you're playing, but what's the message that you're trying to say? What's your overarching message? How are you going to tie it all together? You're telling the story. A story isn't a bunch of phrases put together. It has to make sense. It has to go together. It has to be a development. So understanding all of that is what you're getting out of transcribing if you're doing it properly. If not, then your solo is going to be really disjointed, and it's becoming better at improvising is just going to be a matter of learning more licks, which is not what it's about. It's about understanding the conventions of language and how you can use those conventions to express yourself, and understanding how to say things in this language. And that's the whole point of transcribing. So you have to look at all these small intricacies of what's going on, more than just the notes, because that's how you're going to learn what you can and can't do and what rules exist and how to bend and break those rules. So I hope you'll remember that while you're transcribing in the future. And that's this week's tip. I hope it was helpful. So I'll see you guys next week for another tip. Thank you. Hey y'all, don't forget to rate this video thumbs up, comment, share this video, subscribe to this channel, as well as go on Facebook, liking my page, follow me on Twitter at Victor Haskins, at ImprovStory, and also signing up for my email list through my website, victorhaskins.com. Thank you.